Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you for this 4 p.m. segment with tremendous news. I hope you are all ready to crack open an ice-cold celebratory Yingling because Buzzfeed News is shutting down. That's right. This country will be doing much better now that Buzzfeed News, the fake news, the worst kind of news, is shutting down. The Daily Caller's got the story here. Oh, and there's more than that. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to just leave it at that. They're slashing company-wide 15% of jobs, and their stock has tanked by like 30%. I don't even know how they're still listed. They're a penny stock at this point, I guess. BuzzFeed News announced Thursday it would be shutting down operation. BuzzFeed News' CEO, Jonah Peretti, released a memo saying, "We will concentrate our news efforts in HuffPost, a brand that is profitable with a highly engaged, loyal audience that is less dependent on social platforms." Oh boy, let's just pull up the actual memo here from BuzzFeed. And here's the memo, but I guess the top got cut off or whatever. Anyway, he says, over the next couple of months, we will work together to run a more agile and focused business organization with the capacity to bring in more revenue. We will concentrate our news efforts in Huffington Post, a brand that is profitable with a highly engaged, loyal audience that is less dependent on social platforms. We will empower our editorial teams and all of our brands to do the very best creative work and build an interface where that work can be packaged and brought to advertisers more effectively. We will bring more innovation to clients in the form of creators, AI, and cultural moments that can only happen across BuzzFeed, Complex, HuffPost, Tasty, and First We Feast. It might not feel this way today, but I am confident the future of digital media is ours for the taking. Our industry is hurting and ready to be reborn. We are taking great pains today and will begin to fight our way to a bright future, blah, 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 blah. I just want to point out, I sped through that because I don't care what he has to say, to be completely honest. Let me show you this. Oh boy, BuzzFeed Inc., the parent company, as of today is down 19.74%. Oh, the good news, everybody, is that if you hold BuzzFeed stock, it's currently at 77 cents. How did that investment turn out for you? Yikes. Take a look at this. In the past 5 days, they're down 21.4, 21.9 now, just ticked worse. In the past month, they're down 27.15. In the last 6 months, they're down 63%. Year to date, what do I got? Year to date, they're still, oh man. Year to date, they're up 3%. Meaning they've done so poorly. Look at this. Since BuzzFeed launched, their stock dropped from $10 down to 76 cents. And people complaining about Bitcoin. I get all these lefties who are like, Bitcoin, don't buy it, it's a scam. And I'm like, BuzzFeed is down 92%. I bought Bitcoin. I'm very happy with that purchase. But I just want to stress this. I'm seeing these people post these post on Twitter, these journalists are outraged. They're saying, BuzzFeed News was some of the most accurate and award-winning journalism, but social media just doesn't want this. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Timcast News is highly rated by NewsGuard, and we're expanding. Like, we're doing well. So I don't know what you're trying to insinuate. I guess that's the issue. BuzzFeed was garbage. People did not want to read their fake news garbage. I'd like to give a shout out to our good friend, Ben Smith, over at Semaphore. Because there was this one time that a guy was at a Popeyes and he was murdered. I think he was killed. He was shot. And, or what, was he stabbed? I don't know. A guy seriously injured. I think he died. And the story that BuzzFeed published was that they were fighting over a chicken sandwich. Amazing. So you see, that's why people don't want to read BuzzFeed. No, the story was not about a black man who went to Popeyes, tried to get a chicken sandwich, and then fought to the death over it. The story was about a guy who happened to have been at a Popeyes, and an argument broke out over cutting in line, unrelated to any kind of chicken sandwich. But BuzzFeed thought, it's too juicy to pass up. These people who claim to be anti-racist wrote an article. And here's the best part. When I reached out to their editor-in-chief and said, guys, this is not true. The family came out saying this did not happen. They were like, so what? Well, the good news is you can lose your money faster by giving it to Semaphore, which is many of the same people. That's the new company that Ben Smith went to. Not a fan, not a fan. It's certainly not as bad as BuzzFeed, but I think these people are just evil. You know, Ben Smith is the more rational of the evil corporate press, but I still think he's an evil guy. And I cite that story right there, that when it came down to the bottom line, BuzzFeed insisted on publishing a story that falsely accused a man of fighting to the death over a fried chicken sandwich. I just find it to be horribly racist. And this is why I don't like BuzzFeed. So forgive me if I gloat that BuzzFeed News is shutting down and BuzzFeed is cutting 50% of jobs and their stock is in the absolute toilet. And that one really pisses me off for two reasons. One, it was racist. That pisses me off. Two, it's fake news. Fake news. See, this is the game they play. A guy went to Popeyes. He's standing in line. Another guy cuts in front of him. He says, "Don't cut in front of me." He go outside and the guy, I think, stabbed him or something. They weren't fighting over a sandwich. And I think the cousin of the victim said he wasn't even ordering the sandwich. But here's what happened. In the media, they were talking about how everybody really wanted the Popeyes chicken sandwich because it was so good. It was so better than everybody else. And it was just this weird meme. Like, I don't even think it was that good, the sandwich. It's whatever. Chicken sandwiches are good. And so BuzzFeed decided we will get clicks if we ride this wave and claim a black man died. And I'm just like, you're lying and you're racist. That's it. The thing that really got me was the family member like begging them to stop saying this. Like, could you imagine your cousin dying? And then the media just put out these fake stories about him to make him sound like a whack job idiot. And you're begging them, please, for the memory of my loved one? Yeah, okay, good work, BuzzFeed. But we all know it's not just that. We know how BuzzFeed lied about Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad of the Lotus Eaters podcast, basically every step of the way, lies incessantly about Republicans and conservatives. And so maybe at a certain point, your lies are worth garbage and nobody wants to pay for it or read your garbage. So you have no choice but to fire everybody and shut it down. And to all the journalists at BuzzFeed, I love it. They're not going to accept it. They're still tweeting things like, "We won awards." Oh, yeah, you won awards? Yeah, what does that mean? If people don't read your garbage and you can't pay the bills, your awards mean nothing. And of course, they come out and say, well, the real issue is that the algorithm and blah, blah. No, dude, that's just not the case. Timcast is doing very, very well. I mean, it is a little hard right now, you know. Ad dollars are going down, which is why we started sponsoring ourselves. Go to castbrew.com, purchase your Cast Brew coffee, and support us. It's our own coffee brand. Sponsorships are down because purchases are down. And so we took it upon ourselves to be our own sponsors, and we're making up the difference. You know, here's how it works, right? If you're a sponsor and you're expecting to sell like $20,000 worth of product, how much of that can you allocate towards an advertisement? It's tough, right? So if you're going to pay $5 to 10 grand for an ad read, but you lose money in the deal, you don't do the deal. For us, whether or not we sell enough coffee, it's like, it's our product. It's all, we sell it, we make money on it. So if I shout it out, it works for us. So that's what we're shifting to. But we're doing better. And did you know this? BuzzFeed, I think BuzzFeed has their own cookware at Walmart. They understood the exact same thing. Create your own brands and market your own products. Why rely on someone else to do it? But in the end, BuzzFeed, they can't cut it. It's cultural. Nobody cares. Nobody will defend them. Nobody feels so strongly about BuzzFeed. Why? Because they don't have any morals or principles or guiding forces. They don't have any talent or personality. They are a faceless, woke corporation that will spin on a dime and say whatever they think needs to be said to get clicks. But eventually people say, I don't trust you. I don't want to read you. And then you don't get the ad dollars. Sorry. I like how they're saying the internet is still ours for the taking. No, it isn't. Your stock is down 90 some odd %. You're going nowhere. Oh, sure, they bought Huffington Post. Fine, whatever. Your garbage, hyper-partisan nonsense will not persist, and Huffington Post is the next company that's going to collapse. I look at what's going on with independent media, with Rumble. YouTube, you ain't going to cut it. Alternatives are emerging, and people are sick and tired of the BS. Regular people want something they feel they can trust, and they can't trust BuzzFeed because BuzzFeed lies all the time. Imagine what it must be like. Imagine if you pulled up a video from me, and I'm sure I've gotten things wrong, because I know I have, and I've issued corrections. And imagine we're live on Timcast IRL, and I said something incorrect. Like one of the things I accidentally said, I incorrectly claimed that Shinerbach was Anheuser-Busch when I meant Shock Top. And everybody said, Tim, you're wrong. How dare you? And as soon as I realized the error, I said, whoa, holy crap. I'm so sorry. I was wrong about that. It's Shock Top, not Shiner Bound. Imagine if I ignored all of that and said, I'm not admitting I was wrong. Well, there's your Buzzfeed. There's your Huffington Post. At a certain point, people are going to be like, why am I still reading this? This is just wrong and unwilling to correct a factual error. Now, I get it. Some people unfollow me because they don't like my opinions on things, my perspectives. Well, that's fine. You don't have to follow me. You can leave. Some people will follow me because of my opinions and my perspective on things. But I can tell you this, we strive to get our facts correct. And you know what that means? People may not agree with our opinions on things, but at least they know we're not trying to lie to them. Good job, BuzzFeed. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all then.